Welcome, Rockstars, to more Flesh That Hates. Today's gonna be super exciting because I'm determined to at least get the basic level of Supremium, the most powerful armor that we now have in the game. It's gonna be super exciting and a little tedious, so let's dive into it. Well, Rockstars, I'm both excited and not looking forward to this. We are back in Flesh That Hates for mystical agriculture. Last time we got the basic stuff and we got the tier 1 Inferium armor. The eventual goal is to get to Supremium and then somehow awaken Supremium, which I don't know how you get. I don't know. Oh, you throw awakening stuff in here is what I'm guessing is how it works, however you get that stuff. But that is all tier 5, that Supremium stuff. We are currently at tier 1. We have a little bit of tier 2, but not really. So we have a lot of work to do because this is just a repetitive grinding process. That's literally all we have to do, I think, if I'm understanding the mod correctly. And what I mean by all that is, obviously, we have these plants here, and these give us our Inferium essence. This is the base material we use to craft that armor that we have, the tier 1. However, unlike what I originally thought was that you had to craft a bunch of plants to craft a single seed, and then that seed would grow up, you craft an entire farm for that seed, then you craft those seeds together to get the second plant, or the third plant, and so on and so forth, you know? But no, that's not how it works at all. We have to manually combine from scratch every single one. If I understand correctly, we did it with the Prudedium essence. We just take this specific crystal, take the previous tier, which is Inferium, so tier 1, all around it to craft the tier 2. And I believe that just keeps going to get the tier 3, which is Teridium. Anyways, the tier 3 is made from the tier 2 surrounding the same crystal. It is just a repetitive motion of that all the way up to the top. Imperium makes our Supremium, and then we have to do the awakening stuff and figure out how to add augments. Because once you make the armor, you're not done. There are augments you can add to it for extra buffs that we have to make, which is cool because I'm really hoping that we can add their hearts on top of the baubles of hearts, so we have bonus hearts. And if they give me a good flight ability and it's not wonky like old school Superman and Crazy Craft, I can use that instead of the Cloud Pet, which will be nice because that way I have an extra inventory slot either for another pet or weapon. This, as you can see here, is a different color. We made a tier 2 block of dirt or plot land. This is supposed to give a higher yield of essence or seeds in return, or both. I don't remember what. But overall, it's supposed to be better for the farming because this is already modded farmland. It's not just a regular crop block. I had to specifically craft. So our best bet probably is, I think, to just ungodly farm as much of this as we can and start working on getting some tier 2 and 3 plot, because I just don't know how much of this stuff we're going to need to make all the way up to Supremium. I mean, it's got to be a crap ton. People usually make these things massive farms, or they're automatic, yeah, so you don't really have to do it by hand. We can get an idea of what we'll need, so hopefully this works out. But I plan on crafting all the essence that we can, and that will give us what we need. So where is the rest of our stuff here? Hello, there's more essence, Inferium ingots. I don't need that. I have, there's my infusion crystal, which do have a limit of 1,000 uses each, which is kind of annoying, but we can't craft the master crystal, and that's what we need to get unlimited uses, I would assume. So now if we take these, so I could get a max of 20, and we had what, 2.5 stacks of essence? Does it give you 1 or 4 per crafting recipe? It gives you 1. So every 4 essence you need to craft 1 essence of the next tier. Okay, well, at least that means we have a way to do math. I mean, I get annoyed when I have to do math in videos, but we can figure it out that way then. So that means if we don't craft the awakened Supremium, we awaken it through having Supremium. We just need to worry about how much it takes to craft Supremium. That means we need to figure out how much it is to make per ingot. So we need 2 Supreme essence per ingot. Oh my god, this is, I'm not doing the math. I was about to sit here and do this math. I'm not doing it because I have to figure out how many both diamonds or gemstones and ingots I need. Then each of those, so say we have 24 of each, so each set of armor takes 24 ingots and gemstones. That would actually be 48 essence, and then that 48 I think then has to be times by 4, because that would be the previous tier's amount that you would need to craft that 48 Supremium, and then times that number by 4, and it goes all the way down until you've multiplied by 4 5 times. So you probably have a billion nuggets or whatever. I don't know. that's gonna be insane. So let's just focus on getting some upgraded crop plots for now. So where were those in this? Here we go, Imperium, Terrium, and Prodidium farmland. So to craft these, we need the basic farmland and that version of the essence. That's not that bad. All right, let's grab up some farmland here. So now I should be able to just throw this in here. Does this give me, that gives me a tier 1 plot. If I just throw this one in here, that just gives me a tier 3 plot. Sweet. So let's throw this in here. That's a bunch of tier 2s. There we go. 33. Was it, what did I just? 33 tier 2s. If I say it almost every video. I just can't speak English. I stumble over so many words. And a tier 3 farmland. So these two should be a massive bonus for us. We can still do some basic math to figure out what we need. So if a stack converts down to 4 separate entities of 16, right? And you need 4 stacks per essence upgrade to go from Inferium to Tetrarium or whatever it is. That means you need an entire stack for 16 total pieces. An entire stack or 4 stacks to get one single piece of whatever essence you're trying to craft. So for one piece of Supremium, we would need, or for one stack of Supremium, we would need an entire stack of the Imperium. And to get the Imperium, yeah, that's a never, wolf. What do you mean wolf fell from a higher place? What wolf? I had one parked outside. Where'd he go? I don't know what just happened. Apparently one of my wolves just died. But basically what I'm saying outside of actually doing the math is that this is going to be incredibly difficult. Actually, no, difficult's not the right word. Difficult would be if it was hard to do. This is just going to be an annoyance because there's no way to speed this up. It's just crafting this item till we get to this item and then repeat it because we've got to craft, these take way too long to grow. So that means we've got to craft a crap ton of mystical fertilizer. And I don't remember, what do we even need to make mystical fertilizer again? Oh, look, we need more Inferium essence to craft the fertilizer. We need to grow the stuff faster. And the only way to get it worth it is if we craft it with fertilized essence, which is a 10% chance drop from something. Oh my god. Wow. Okay, this is probably why I never dived into magic mods. Can mystical agriculture be counted as a magic mod? I mean, it's very mystical. I can give it that, but it's not a technological mod. That's for sure. It looks so weird having just like pure green farm plot land. That's so strange. All right. The big bonus of these should be that the next time we actually grow this stuff up is it should give us more plant yields or seed yields. I think it's seed yields because that's what's so important. So we can actually plant more crop. Well, let's get this new batch here going on these new land. That's nice. At least we have some tier 2 back there. So we did get some bonuses. We have 3 essence left and it's how much? A 4 essence to make 4 fertilizer. At least it's a 1-to-1 ratio instead of a 4-to-1 ratio. But that's kind of annoying. Then I don't know. Is that worth it at this point? We have to. I kind of have to. Actually, I don't have any essence left. I can't. I have to wait for it to grow and then we have to spend what we grow so we can grow faster. Yeah, that's not worth it until we get more of these high tier plants, I think. These crop plots. Because otherwise we won't get enough seeds back to be able to plant more crops because we're spending so much of the essence on the fertilizer to grow it. I think that's enough rambling about this. I'm going to spend some time, farm out some of this stuff a bunch and see how much we can get for a little while. And I'm going to start just upgrading everything to at least tier 3 plots, I think is our goal. And then hopefully we can see how much we're getting out of that, how much essence we're getting per piece of harvest. Otherwise, I don't know another way to go out about this outside of just the brutal repeating process of using these crappy farms to save up the thousands of items we need to craft the really good stuff. And I'm determined to get Supremium Armor today. Well, mainly because I don't know what else to do in today's episode. This was the goal. This is what I planned out. Alrighty, Rockstars. So we've got this filled out. We got a lot of tier 3 farmland, but I couldn't fill out the entire thing with it. I added some more tier 2 over here, and then I left all of this the same because, oh my god, was that just, it was a lot more subcrafting than I was expecting, which really sucks because this is supposed to be the easy part. Let's go ahead, and since I only had enough to craft a stack of mystical herb left over, and I think that's all I'm going to craft. So for now, at least, I want to go ahead and test out these farm plots because in reality, they're supposed to give us, oh, they don't give us more, do they? No. I kept getting confused and I couldn't remember if they gave us more seeds or more essence or more both from using the better tier plots. I think it's purely the amount of actually, no, it is the amount of both because we just got multiple seeds back from one of the plants because I didn't have any seeds left and now I have an extra. Okay, so I think it's a chance you get extra seeds back and it's a guarantee you get extra essence back because we're getting at least 2+ essence every time and the plants only produce 1. So, I mean, that's a positive. I can't complain about that at least. So, I mean, that is something. But yeah, I don't see us getting a whole lot with this. We're going to sit here and do this. I'm just really curious on how long this is really going to take me to get up to Supremium today. Because I've got to decide if it's worth it at this point to keep crafting the mystical agricultural bone meal or not. Because it takes the basic essence to craft it, and that's what we need to craft every other tier. We use it to craft the tier 2. That tier 2 crafts the tier 3. Ultimately, being crafted out of the tier 1. I'm just glad that it instantly grows the plant entirely up instead of like regular bone meal in Minecraft. You might need more than 1. If we know it's a 4-to-1 ratio and we have 2 stacks, meaning if we have 4 stacks of Inferium Essence, we can get 1 stack of Perudium Essence. So this is going to be worth 32, I believe. I think this is going to be, nope, that's already new crystals we crafted. In the meantime, I kind of organized the chest because it was an absolute garbage mess and I got tired of looking at it. But we can throw these bad boys in here, and yep, 32 total Perudium. I still can't say essence. Now this will craft into, I believe, 8 because we can only do that many times, and 8 will craft down in 2, I believe, because there's 4 slots, and that gives us Imperium Essence. And then that only gives us half of what we need to craft a single piece of Supremium. So 2 stacks of Inferium is equal to 2 pieces of Imperium Essence. That is insane. So we're gonna need so much. Yeah, I'm gonna have to create a second farm. There's no way that this farm is gonna be enough out here. I mean, it's solid. It covers the entirety inside of my base. Very post-apocalyptic defend your home vibe. But I do have extra seeds, and this just isn't going to be enough. Yeah, I'm just not gonna produce enough plants fast enough, I don't think, to actually craft it, especially if I need to continue to use the mystical herb or bone meal to actually grow it so we can use it, because otherwise it's gonna take a minute to grow things. I think upgrading our crafting tier of our farmland is our next best move to actually improve this, because we've seen that this tier 1 gives us 1 essence and this tier 3 at least gives us 2 every time. Now obviously to get the tier 5 farmland we would have to combine it with Supremium, which I do not think is worth it because we're not gonna have a big enough farm, and I think we're barely gonna scratch by getting the armor. But we have Imperium Essence, which we can still craft down back into Tertium, and we can make a crap ton of T3 farms, or at least like 12 plus more. So let's go ahead, craft this down to 12. Yep, we can throw this in here, and that will give us 12 more plots of T3 farming. So instead of crafting our bone meal, or actually expanding the farmland, or crafting the other armor or anything, I think right now we take all the essence that we get and we just use it to craft up to the Tetrium and make tier 3 farmlands to fill in the rest of our plots. I think that's going to be the best idea. Each time we get a new one there, we can just boom and place the brand new seed onto it. Ooh, we actually missed some back here. Oh, we got another plant up. Come here, harvest time. Give me that and place down the new thing. And I love that these are automatically tilled, so as long as there's water nearby, they are ready to go. And since we're picking up the essence as we replace the new plants and new farm blocks, we can just continue to craft upwards and get ourselves even more better tier blocks. I could stop at tier 2, but I think the tier 3 is a good stopping point. Tier 4 feels too expensive, and tier 2 seems too weak to actually be worth crafting. If you guys are enjoying, let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know by putting pineapple. Yes, pineapple. I don't know why. Probably because of psych. I always choose pineapple or potato, my go-to I don't know what to say at the moment word. I want to see how many people have made it this far into the video. And while you're down there, if you guys do enjoy, hit that like button. Lets me know a lot and really helps out the channel. Especially lets me know you guys enjoying something a little more laid back like this farming episode, because usually we dive a lot more into explosive or weapons or some type of boss battle or building some cool armor or something with a unique ability. But this is a little more chill as we hide inside of our heavily laser defensive turret base. Yeah, because that's totally what chill means. Alrighty, so first of all, this is going to be our very first full-time harvest. Well, not harvest, grow. I just planted everything we needed for the very first time, with the entire farm completely being a tier 3 crop or farmland, which is actually interesting because while doing everything and doing that last harvest, we have 63 extra seeds, which is pretty solid for the most part. The most annoying part, the crafting is now up with all the leftover Inferium Essence, because whether we didn't use it for our, fertilizer or anything else, this is what we've got left. And I've left it here so we could craft craft it together. I wonder how many of these 884 uses on the crystal we'll use. I got the other crystals just in case, because I honestly didn't know how much 1,000 was worth in this game or this mod. But let's just start crafting. Let's go ahead. We need to get literally everything transferred all the way up as much as we can. So I'm really curious to see how far we're gonna get. So we're already coming to our, oh, that's our last full stack. So we have 3 full stacks of Perudium. So we're already seeing a diminish. We had like 6 stacks of the Inferium, but now we have 3 full stacks and this half stack of Inferium, which is gonna barely create any of this. So this won't even be a full stack of Tetrium. So wow, that is insane. So let's go ahead and split that. Let's get all that Tetrium here and keep going. How much are we truly going to get? A total of 50. Oh my god. 634 uses left. Let's see how much 50 Tetrium will get to us. And this will give us a 12 Imperium, which will give us a total of 4. No, not even 4. 3 Supremium. So we can get 1 Supremium gemstone or 1 Supremium ingot. That is all that we can get with like 6.5 stacks, 7 stacks or something like that of Inferium. I am so happy that we have upgraded our crop plots. I have never been so happy. These tier 3s are gonna make all the difference in the world. Once these go up, we will have, I'm hoping, I mean, this is like 3 stacks worth of blocks of farms. So this is gonna hopefully be a really good harvest. I would like to try to use, like, I thought about crafting down the Tetrium and the Supremium so we can boost this farms left with fertilizer. But I think I'm gonna sit here and just let the ticks go by and have this grow naturally, because I want to have as much essence as possible after seeing how much it took to get just 3 Supremium essence. And there's not anything I'm missing for the armor, right? It's just the, oh yeah, we have to craft the previous armor. But the previous armor is just that version of the stuff surrounding the previous armor. So like to get the Tetrium armor, we just have to surround the Perudium armor with the Tetrium stuff. That's not a big deal because you can downcraft the big numbers of stuff that we have. So I just need to make sure we have enough ingots for the Supremium stuff to be made. And we already have the tier 1 Inferium armor. So this next part is going to be probably the easiest and least annoying part of this entire process. It's enjoyable. I think the fact that we're just trying to cram so much into it and being so new to this mod, it's just a little bit overwhelming. It's time for the harvest, Rockstars. There we go. Let's look at this essence filled racks or inventory or trays or yeah, I'm just on nonsense today. Almost 5.5 stacks of the essence, and we have nearly 3 stacks of seeds, and we've only covered a single corner of this stuff. So I think we're gonna have around the same amount that we had last time we crafted. All right, I will plant all these seeds here in a minute. I really just want to know how much Supremium we have with all of this. I'm gonna grab a second crystal just in case, but yeah, I think we're up to a similar amount. We will actually know. This feels like a lot more. Maybe it is a lot more. Let's just find out. Let's start crafting here. Boom. So we had what, 3.5 stacks of, no, we had 3 stacks and like 16 of the Perudium last time. Actually, we're short. This gave us less than all of that we had saved up throughout the upgrading process of our farmland, because we had 3 stacks of Perudium and then 32 Inferium left over. Now we just have 2 stacks and the rest pulls us up to 56. Because in all fairness, we were saving that the entire time since I had cut from starting the upgrade process with the farmland. So it would make sense that there was a bit more, but wow, I wasn't expecting, I mean, it was a good yield, but it still feels low. Let's go ahead, but we can go ahead and get, what is it, 12 then Imperium, and that will give us another 3 total Supremium. Holy crap. So this means we have, for what, 3 Supremium ingots, because it's a 2-to-1 ratio. We need 2 essence per ingot and gemstone. So you need 2 ingots and 2 gemstones per piece, and there are 4 pieces. So that means you need 8 gemstones and 8 ingots, which means for 8 of one of these, you need 16 Supremium. So that means you need 32 Supremium essence in total, I think, to get everything that you need. Plus, you still have to craft the tier 4 stuff, which isn't nearly as big of a deal. All right, I said I was gonna get Supremium, even though I'm at over an hour of raw raw footage, and for something like this, that's usually a bit long, and we're kind of pushing my editing time. But I refuse to upgrade to the tier 5 plots, so we're gonna sit here. I'm gonna farm these out. Honestly, we have so many seeds, I might make a second farmland with just basic farms. With just using the level 1 farmland that it's free, it doesn't cost essence, I can just throw down a crap ton of extra seeds and plots, and then that way we can actually grow more without having to waste all the essence on the better farmland, because I don't think it's going to be worth it at this point. I think we're such a middle ground with how much we get versus how much we need. This armor better be good. I've been told that it's defensively much better than actual gemstone armor or gem armor, and as far as I know, these two are the two strongest armors I can get from basically any mod packs. I can't wait till I get this armor and then the big blobby guy from this mod pack, this Parasite mod, still ends up one-shotting, because he does it currently with gem armor in 50 rows of hearts, or 5 rows of hearts, 50 total hearts. So I don't know, and I don't know how the health augmentation or any of that works for the Supremium armor, so I don't know what the possibilities even are with that. Alrighty, Rockstars, so I've just planted these crops in those ones after collecting more essence, so that's a little over another stack worth of seeds, so it's not a lot, but it's enough to kind of even out our crafting number. This is everything that we've collected so far, so let's go ahead and yeah, let's just start crafting this upwards. It's going to be a very annoying process because we just have to single click each of these every single time. 3, 6, 7 stacks. Oh, we are stacked short of having a total of 8 stacks of prudentium. Wow. So that really sucks, because just because that's gonna throw our numbers off, that means would I need an entire another stack of regular farmland? Would that work out the math correctly, I think, to get us just one more stack of prudentium in the harvest process? Oh well, let's go ahead and let's just get the rest of the tetrium that we can. Our tertium, I still have no idea if I'm pronouncing any of these names right, but we're kind of just going along with it. So that is all the way up to 28 Imperium. So that gives us 7 more Supremium Essence. So that's 13. What did I say we needed before? 26 Essence or something like that? Yeah, we're not exactly getting close. So 5 times 2 is 10. So this is a total of 6 pieces. Ooh, wow. So we need 4 more Supremium ingots, and then we need to make the 10 total Supremium gemstones, which are these bad boys, and then we can craft the rest of the armor. I think it's going to be 2 more harvests before I can do this again. All right, Rockstars, this should be enough of what we need. Doing the math, this 8 Supremium should be enough for our ingots, this 20 should be enough for the gemstones, and this is to craft downwards for the old armor to craft upwards into the Supremium. A little confusing, but yeah. We gotta go backwards to go forwards. You know, they say 2 steps backwards to go 1 step forwards. It's annoying, that saying. I really hate. Or no, I just said that backwards. It's 2 steps forwards, 1 step backwards. That's the saying. Either way, it still sucks. So let's just go ahead. Let's craft the ingots that we need. So there we go. 10 Supremium ingots. How do we make the gemstones again? We need a prosperity gemstone, which is, oh, just a diamond surrounded by the prosperity shards. Okay, we've got 16 of those, which I think is overkill because we only need 10, but now we've got them in case we need it. Well, oh, we will need them. Hold on. I'm realizing something. We need the ingots as well for each type. So that means we need 8 ingots and 8 gemstones per set of armor. That's not the Supremium since we just made them. But I also don't have to make the Inferium. So we need 1, 2, 3 sets. So 8 times 3 would be 24. So I need at least 18 more gemstones. There we go. And I don't have enough prosperity shards to make enough prosperity ingot, do I? To make a prosperity ingot, it's iron with the shards. Oh my god, that means I have just to go back into the mines and get more prosperity. It's just a regular ore. I really don't want to do this, but I don't have a choice. It's the only thing holding us back now from actually finishing the armor. No more need for prosperity. Never again. Never, ever, ever again. I've sunken so much time into this video, and I grabbed all these prosperity shards in case I need them again, and I realized I don't think I will. Unless I need them for awakening summons, which I have no idea. I don't think I need them because we're crafting the strongest armor set we can get right now. Outside of awaken, but you don't craft that, you would awaken that. Once again, it's weird. So let's just go ahead and get started here. We need to craft everything downwards. Perfect. Peridium is exactly what we need at the moment. So I need to make 8 of these. So we craft this in half. That gives us perfect 8 Peridium ingots or gemstones. Now I need 8 total versions of this ingot. Now I should be able to craft our armor this way. There we go. Tier 2 Peridium. I'm so happy I made that tier 1 armor in the first episode that we did agriculture, because it's just adding a little bit of ease now that we already have the armor set. Now we're just gonna follow the same process but with tetrium. So it's a little less overall annoying, I would say, for the most part. It's not nearly as bad as crafting all of it, because crafting the essence is way worse than actually decrafting it to make all this armor. There we go. We've got our 8 more tetrium essence for the gemstones, and there we go. Now we can jump up to tier 3 armor. And with that out of the way, that leaves just one more set left to go in Perium essence. And I don't have enough essence. Actually, no, I didn't craft down too much, because Peridium just has a larger essence pool when crafting down farther. That gives us the 8 Imperium gemstones that we need, but I am still 16 Imperium essence short for the last 8 Imperium. That's so many times I've just said the same words. The last 8 Imperium ingots I need, because I need 16 essence to do that, because it's 2 per 1. Yeah, I just have to wait for the farms to grow back. There's nothing else that I can do. I have literally no essence left. At least some of them are finally starting to get back here, so it won't be a super long time, but we kept becoming just short of everything we needed constantly. No more waiting. No more. We're done. We've got it. We've got everything I need, I believe. So, and I've just realized this entire time I crafted 2 extra Supremium ingots in gemstones. I think I didn't need to, and that would have been all of the essence that I needed. But it doesn't matter. There's the Imperium armor. On to Supremium armor. There we go. That is gorgeous. So, we don't have the ability to fly with it, but that's perfectly fine. Woo! We have full armor points before we even throw on the entire set. That doesn't happen with gemstone. You have to have the entire set. If we throw on the chest piece alone, that's half of our armor points. In the leggings, we're missing 1. That's insane. So it literally extends to above what we have. Now, we do lose movement speed, because we got movement speed bonus from the gemstone armor. Feels weird, but it also feels a little nice not to be running out at 1,000 miles an hour. That is so cool. But I guess let's do a little test. We have our good old slime pet, so he can't kill us. If we hear him go off, we know he has successfully technically killed us. Yep, he's going off. You can see my golden apples are still going down. So he still has the ability to one-shot me. That is insane. Is it a percentage-based health? How does he do that? We're going to keep trying to get past that attack so we can fight without the slime pet. Like I've said before, that is the ultimate goal. But if you guys did enjoy this strenuous episode, leave a like, comment, subscribe down below. And I will see you all next time, Rockstars. Peace, peace.